girl.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good, girl. How you doing, honey?
Good. I was jamming to our intro.
I know, right? You was under.
Yep.
Well, hello, divas and friends, and welcome again to another edition of In the Divas Den. Oh, God, we have such a good episode. And so all of our episodes are good, but I am extremely here for this episode because I think we all need a good namaste and a good woosah after the last couple of events that have happened over the last couple of days and all the craziness that we are dealing with. But before we get into all of that, before we discuss any of that, Precious, we got to do our check-in.
Yes.
Girl, is everything okay over there?
Yeah, I'm here. We here. We're breathing. We have life. Yes. How about you?
I am good. I am good. It's been a rough couple of days / weeks. You know, people are showing their true colors and their true behinds in 2020. But that's okay because I keep telling myself, you know what? This is all for a reason. This is all for a purpose because we have bigger blessings on the way.
That's
so
right.
He's just moving these people right out the way and making room for people that are supposed to stay in your life. Because I see that our little circle's still together, ain't we?
We tight.
Hello?
Yes.
Like this out in these streets. But we want to hear from you guys. Of course, let us know in the comment section. How are you doing? Are you good? You know, do you have any major announcements? Anything that you want to talk about? Let us know. We are here for you. This is your time. And definitely, as always, because I know we ain't got to tell y'all, get in on the conversation. Because we're about to have a real conversation tonight, y'all. Real conversation. But before we do that, we do have to take a moment to honor those who have laid down the groundwork for us. And Precious, if you want to take that away.
Yeah, civil rights legends, icons, John Lewis and Reverend C.T. Vivian, they marched together, they got arrested together, and they left this world at the same time together. So to them who were giants in our community, for our people, for this world, we appreciate everything they have given to us. We are thankful for their lives, for their gifts, for their sacrifices, and we salute them. They're now ancestors now for us. So we salute them, and may their memories and legacies live on for years to come.
Girl, couldn't have said it any better myself. It was really sad. I was not expecting that because I did hear about John Lewis at first. And then I noticed that, unfortunately, C.T. Vivian kind of got swept under the rug. I don't think too many people knew until afterwards. But I'm so glad that we were able to take a second and honor them. And it's amazing that even with all that they have done, how much they have fought, that they were even still fighting till this day.
That's right.
You know, and the fight isn't done. Which leads me to this. Let's make sure that we get some justice for Breonna Taylor and those who are, you know, essentially enduring the same. But if you guys have watched our show before, we know that we always put the information up there for you. But justiceforbreonna.org, that's where you want to go. Simple email, simple phone call. Doesn't take much time at all. Just make sure that you guys aren't stopping. I know that the media isn't covering the protests and, you know, of course, the, well, not the riots, but the protests, but it's still happening. It's still going. People are still fighting, and we have a reason to continue with it because there's a lot that still needs to be changed. But
it's still getting snatched up too, like head of state out here in the street, security, and they snatching people up. So if you out there and you're protesting and you're doing due diligence, please protect yourselves. Please be aware of your surroundings. And if it doesn't feel right, move.
Girl, how about it? Girl, we almost had a situation last weekend, but we ain't gonna get into that. We ain't got the time.
Okay.
We ain't got the time. But we do have time to talk about y'all cousin. Kanye West.
Which one?
Kanye West. If you guys did not see, he was in South Carolina rallying because I guess he was still trying to essentially get the presidential bid. But I'm also like, who's voting for you? Who is voting for you?
As of today, Miss Cool Cats and Kittens has endorsed him. Yes.
Carol Baskin, for those of you who have watched The Tiger King, she is endorsing Kanye, but we don't have time for her. But Kanye, as you can see, he was in South Carolina and had a complete and total meltdown. He alluded to the fact that his dad did not want him, that, he was supposed to be aborted, and that he in turn thought about aborting Northwest. He also felt the need to go off on plenty of the participants who were there, one of them being a young Black girl who was essentially fact-checking him, and that upset him very much so. And then what upset her even more was the fact that a young white lady got on stage and fact-checked him, and instead of getting upset, he gave her a hug and said that she was brave. And since then, he has just gone down this rabbit hole and has continuously sent out these unstable tweets alluding to the fact that Kim Kardashian and Christian are white supremacists, that they're trying to have him, I guess, they're trying to get him help, but he sees it as though they're trying to attack him. He's going on and saying that his life is reminiscent of Get Out, that it was based off of him, and that, NBC was behind Bill Cosby getting arrested and thrown in jail. It was just a lot. There was a lot there, and we would be here all day trying to decipher what it is that he was trying to say. But the question is, are we witnessing a mental breakdown?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes, we are. It's a manic break. I'm not gonna lie, I did chuckle a bit when I saw his face when he broke down. It was random, and I wasn't expecting it. I was like, what? Mm-hmm. But it's sad because this man is not well.
Not at all.
No.
Not at all.
There may be bits and pieces of reality in what he's saying, but it's shrouded by the manic behavior that he's exhibiting right now.
Exactly.
So I know Dave Chappelle flew out either today or yesterday to go see him. I really hope that it brings him some kind of peace to have somebody that knows him around him outside of what he's used to. But I honestly don't know what's going to come from this. I don't know.
And it's funny that you mentioned that, because this isn't the first time that Kanye has completely, said something out of pocket, and forever we keep giving him this excuse of his mother passed away, his mother passed away, his mother passed away, his mother passed away. Okay, well, we both have parents who passed away, and you don't see us out in these streets, just spewing all types of rhetoric and, essentially just acting like we don't have any sense here. Now, I am sympathetic to the fact that he does have bipolar. I am extremely sympathetic to that because I have dealt with someone who was bipolar. So it's hard to see someone struggle with themselves and you don't really know what to do. So I do feel bad for Kim in this instance because she is watching this happen. And I'm pretty sure she has tried everything possible to try to get him the help that he needs, or to essentially get him the doctor that he needs to see, because y'all got money. So you're seeing the best of the best. Mm-hmm. But the question is, does he want the help? And I think Kanye honestly does not want help. I think he wants yes men. And I think he wants people around him to try to prove what is going on inside of his head and make it to where he feels as though, okay, well, I'm right. I got this. What I'm saying is the truth. And no, no, like you said, there may be bits and pieces there, but no.
The main question, ain't nobody asking this question. Why was Jason Derulo on stage with him?
Was it Jason Derulo?
Speech? Why was he there? What's that Jason? Look, now, between that and the whole statement about Harriet Tubman, you don't mess with the ancestors, okay? Just don't. Leave them alone and keep it moving, because that's when you're messed up.
And that's what makes it hard to feel sorry for him, because you have a platform and you're out here saying these idiotic things and you may not be articulating them right, but it still doesn't matter because you knew you had this rally. You had more than enough time to prepare. You decided to just go up there and just say whatever it is you wanted to say and think that people are supposed to say, yeah. Now, of course, there may be some people who feel as though, okay, what he was saying was correct. I'm not one of those people because he is, he's completely gone out there. However, I am more upset with how he is deciding to treat his wife. Because you're calling her a white supremacist, but yet she's been in your corner. Now, I'm not going to say that Kim is, an angel, But at the end of the day, that is still your wife. You are in a relationship. Those are your children. And you're sitting here saying these things as if they won't see it. It's now in the internet. It's now been immortalized. And you don't have any accountability for that. You're just like, oh, it is what it is. I said what I said. I'm speaking the truth. No, you're being irresponsible. You're an adult. You owe it to yourself, to your children, and to your wife to go and get some help. And you are deciding not to get help and instead surrounding yourself with people who understand you. But don't want to sit there and say, you know what, y'all, I was wrong. I'm tripping. Let me go ahead and do what I need to do. That is really, really, and there's so many people out here. Like I said, I understand it's tough, but there's so many people out here who would rather fight with the disease opposed to just being honest with themselves and saying, hey, I need help. I need help.
Yeah.
You know.
It seemed like he was wrestling with two different sides of himself as he was talking. Like what he was saying and what he was doing was not agreeing with who he was as a person. We actually saw that when Killer Mike first spoke to Atlanta about the riots and looting. His shirt said kind of free yourself, but what he was saying was calm down. But if you listen to him carefully, what he wanted to say could not come across because he had to be a certain person at that time. So when watching Kanye break down in the middle of all of this, it's like he can't say what he really wants to say, almost like he's being forced to do this, which alludes to all the rumors that he's doing this for Trump. So I don't know what's going on there.
Yeah. I mean, it's a lot to break down. It really is, but I just want him to go and get the help that he needs. Yeah. You know, I really want him, if it's a thing of medication, to really get something to where you're balancing those chemical imbalances, because that's tough. It's really, really, really tough. And mental, illness is very real. It's very real. And seeing people that you love struggle with it hurts. But I also want Kim to protect herself, because no matter what, you don't deserve to be in a toxic relationship, and this is extremely toxic, and I do feel sorry for her. I feel for her and I feel sorry for her, because you can only do but so much. But at the end of the day, you're a mother and you got to protect those kids. You got 4 of them, baby. 4. And they need to be your priority. If he wants to be out here acting stupid, let him go ahead and act stupid and let him do what he needs to do. But you need to protect yourself and those children. But with that said, while we're talking about protecting ourselves, and Precious, you kind of alluded to the fact of wanting to say something but not being able to, let's talk about Tamar and Nick Cannon. Unfortunately, Tamar attempted to commit suicide, and now an email has been leaked where she is alluding to the fact that WeTV had leaked a secret that she did not want out, about her being sexually molested from 6 until 16 multiple times by a family member, and that she created Braxton Family Values to show, Black women who are in the business doing their thing, that sisterly bond, and they turned it into something so ugly. And she's now having that battle of, this is something that I wanted, and you've turned it into this. So that's really tough.
Yeah, I don't know if a lot of people caught this, but she changed her Twitter handle to say Tamar Slave Braxton. And this was around the time that this happened. And her boyfriend David found her after drinking and having the pills at the same time. He said he shook her violently because he thought she was gone. And she had been alluding to feeling suicidal for a couple months now to the family. But you know how the Braxtons are, they try to keep things really close knit, because the Black family unit, we don't put our business out in the streets. But when you got a show and when your whole family is full of celebrities or want to be celebrities, you then have your business out there. And I do credit Tamar for her original vision with this, because when it first started, it was good. It was nice to see a healthy Black family on television, but it did start to turn toxic over the next couple of seasons, because that's what got the ratings. And to her credit, she also did feed into that as well. So at what point do you take accountability for how you got into the situation and then kept it going because it was good for you, but then also her relationship, and then we saw the demise of her relationship. So there was a lot on camera that I'm sure she didn't want once it started to unravel. But that's the beast,
Exactly.
I don't think that any of this warrants taking your life at all. I mean, you have a young son who needs you. People around you who need you. So it's like, at what point do you take off that cross that you're bearing and go help instead of, feeling like too much. And it's a touchy subject because you don't want to say that people who have these thoughts and people who do these things are one way. You can't say that because you don't know what they're battling inside. So my prayers go out to her that she gets the help that she needs. My prayers go out to all those malicious comments that are coming out now. People saying show coming out and that this was a publicity stunt. I don't know what publicity stunt would be so worth it that you would risk your life.
Exactly. Let's face it, she's not August Alsina, okay? Because I don't care what y'all say. He still did that for publicity because nobody was streaming his stuff. But you can see even with the show from the beginning up until what it was now, Tamar was constantly battling and she was always looking for, that what is the word I'm looking for? She was constantly looking for that validation. And I mean, let's be honest. She was somebody who dealt with something because didn't she have a partner who had abused her as well? And then there was that whole dynamic between her and Vince, that still went kind of left, so there is a lot that she was battling with. And then to also see the demise of your family on TV when that's not what you originally wanted. Like you said, I do think they kind of played into it. But then once the deeper secrets start coming out, that's when it's like, oh no, we didn't really want that. But that's, like you said, that's the nature of the beast. In journalism, you're taught if it bleeds, it leads. So these producers know, hey, look, if we got something juicy, we're going to put it out there no matter who we hurt. We're just going to go ahead and go for it because we need those ratings. It all comes down to this at the end of the day. There also was some rumors going around that allegedly Mona Scott was in charge of her new show that she was going to come out with. And she was upset with that because she specifically said that she did not want to work with Mona Scott. But I don't think that would ultimately lead to her wanting to take her life. I just think it's a culmination of so much happening, and then that whole trying to be happy. Like you may have a new partner. You may claim that, oh, well, he loves me so much and he's this, and he may, he seems like he's crazy about her, but have you healed yourself yet before you jumped into that relationship with him, And
I saw that she had alluded to some secrets from The Real as well. When it came out that Tamara was leaving the show, she had alluded to some of that right before all of this happened as well. So it was just interesting how all of this happened. I feel like it's a lot deeper than we'll ever know.
And has Lonnie said anything yet? I know Adrian did, but okay.
You know how Lonnie puts out messages without actually acknowledging the person? Like even when Tamara made her announcement, Lonnie was very quiet for a long time because I think that caught her off guard. But she put something about you never know what people are going through, be nice to people, that kind of thing.
Oh, be nice to people. You know what? Right. That is another topic for another day.
Can't Michelle say anything? Because Can't Michelle would be real quick to say something about Tamar. I'm just asking a question. Okay.
Girl, there's so much tea there, but baby, we don't have the time. We don't have the time. But let's also talk real quickly about Nick Cannon. When you say the nature of the beast, we talked a little bit about last week about the statements that he made and, essentially following up with an apology. Fox made him apologize, but now Nick has been canceled. A lot of the Black community is not here for it because they feel as though he should not have apologized for the comments that he made on his podcast. But when you don't have ownership of your stuff and someone else is writing your check, it is what it is. So, I mean, Precious, what do you think?
They said he backpedaled real quick from the time that we announced everything that happened that day, because everything was unfolding live that day. So from the time that we announced everything on our last show, by the next morning, he had to send an apology to Fox and essentially said that he had hurt a whole group of people and everything. And it's like, okay, if you're going to say something and you're going to stand in your conviction so hard to not care about a whole network throwing you away, either you do that or you don't. But I think another thing that happened is that speaking of suicidal thoughts, a lot of people were worried about him because then he said his location was heaven, that he was like, y'all can have earth. And then in the midst of all this, he lost a really good friend to suicide. So as much as we laugh at what comes out in the media and as much as we joke and make fun and do all these other things, these are real people.
Exactly.
they play characters, they have personas, but these are real people underneath all of that. So what's happening with these real people for them to heal from what's happening in the public eye? You know?
Exactly. So. Exactly. I mean, there's just so much here. There's so much here. We definitely have to do like an after show because we didn't even get a chance to talk about Megan and Tori, which is a whole issue there. We still need the details. All I know is Megan is cussing people out. She says she's ready to speak when she's ready to speak, and it is what it is. So, but we have to get to our guest. She has been so patient. Thank you, girl. We appreciate you. If you guys have seen, we have an amazing yoga instructor and owner of Colors of Yoga right here in Raleigh, who will be joining us. She's so dope, so awesome. I've seen a lot of the promo that they do. A lot of their Instagram is just filled with inspiration, and it just makes you want to just get into a class and just do the damn thing. You can see it right here. There's just so much life into it. And while we have this discussion of mental health and healing yourself and, you know, making sure that you're a better person, I wanted her to come onto the show because on top of everything that's happening, we are still in a pandemic, y'all. So that's something too that we have to deal with mentally. So I'm inviting Patrice Graham onto the show. Hey girl, hey. Let's get her up here. There we go.
Hello.
Hey girl.
I was up here nodding and talking to the screen while y'all were talking.
Girl, we gotta have a roundtable discussion, you know, let people know. Come on in, let's talk about some things. But thank you so much for coming on to the show. You are awesome, and I'm here for the Black Girl Magic. But can you just let everyone know who may not be following you about Colors of Yoga?
Yeah, so thank you for having me. I'm happy to be here. My name is Patrice, and I own Colors of Yoga Raleigh. It is Raleigh's only Black-owned yoga studio, and we have a mission to make yoga inclusive and build community. We cater to beginners. I really think it's important for Black folks to see people that look like them doing yoga, to know that it's a practice that is accessible for them and can help us. So.
Yes, girl. Yes. So how long have you been teaching?
I've been teaching for 3.5 years.
Okay, good. Yes, girl. Yes. So when we talk about yoga, because I hear a lot of it, and especially when you may go to a session, like you guys, like I've told you guys, I'm in therapy. So one of the things that they essentially tell you to do is meditate and do yoga. How beneficial is it for the body and for the mind?
It's so helpful for both. Like, I love it for the mental health part, but some people love it for the physical health. I tell people, without yoga, I'm crazy, and it just helps me to slow down, to quiet the anxiety, to quiet and just get in touch with how I'm feeling. Get in touch with my breath, get in touch with my body, to build some self-awareness and take time for myself. I think that as Black women, we put everything else and everyone else ahead of ourselves and caring for ourselves, and it's to the detriment of ourselves. So if nothing else, this 1 hour of yoga is my me time. It's my time to reflect on the day, to let things go, and to just do something for me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do you guys often incorporate meditation, or is it just a part of yoga?
Yeah, it is. It's a part of yoga. So all of the physical practice is a moving meditation. So it's mindful because you're matching your movement with your breath. And then at the beginning, it takes time to center, because pre-pandemic, you were in traffic, you were trying to find a parking space because you're in downtown Raleigh. You can take some time to center and really get yourself ready for the practice. And then at the end of the practice is Shavasana, which is a more extended meditation. And the whole point of that practice is you're physically tired. So even though your mind still might be going this and that way, thinking about what's for dinner, what's for lunch, your body is tired enough to be still, which can be hard for some folks.
And I'm glad you mentioned that, because people often are afraid or take for granted yoga. They think it's easy, you know, until they actually go into a class and it's like, well, I am sweating, child. So for someone who may be a beginner, what are some things that they can expect?
Yeah, it's I thought it was just stretching myself. And then I went to a hot yoga class and left dripping. And I think people have done more yoga than they realize. Like, think back to like PE in elementary, middle school, high school. You've been doing some of these moves, but you might not have done them in a while. And I think it is a little bit harder than people think, including me. I thought it was just stretching. And you will sweat. And it's not so much, sometimes it's not even just a physical practice. When we're uncomfortable, that's anxiety, or like it's just your body is exerting effort trying to make you comfortable just in these different shapes. And at Colors of Yoga, we have good music. We call it yoga with seasoning. So it's not, don't think about like, and dancing and like where I teach trap yoga. So on Saturday mornings, we do yoga to rap music. So yeah, I went all around the question, but come in, just try it. Just try it. I can't even explain it because it's everyone shows up different and get something different out of it.
Have you experienced a difference in the energy or a loss of energy from being in person and surrounded by people than now being virtual?
That's such a good question. It's definitely different. I'm an empath. I'm sensitive, so I can feel everybody's energy. So I am still feeling everyone's energy, but I don't have the feel good energy. So I'm taking the feel good energy still comes across, but everybody's going through so much. So that alone just changes the energy of the class of people. Some people don't even want to be on camera. They don't interact. And so a big part of our studio has been community, and it's just different online. I'm grateful that we have it. I'm grateful that we can do classes virtually, but it's just different. And that's okay.
Well, I know that you guys have essentially been affected greatly by COVID. For those of you who don't know, they do have a brick and mortar. However, they are now 100% virtual because of these COVID times. So with that being said, I mean, you guys have expanded to essentially anyone can join outside of Raleigh, correct?
Right, exactly. We've had people from California, Texas, and all over because now we're online and we can connect with a lot of folks that we couldn't connect that weren't in the Raleigh area.
So it has been beneficial because I know a lot of people are struggling with, not having their own gym and having to go onto a computer.
Right. And I think that takes away some of the, especially for new people, is like I can do it from the privacy of my home and I can have my camera on or not, and then people don't have to see me. So it takes away some of the anxiety from being, especially for people that are new.
Okay. Well, girl, listen, I know I want to try a class. I definitely want to try trap yoga because I'm here for that. So if someone wants to try, what is the best way to get in contact with you, or what are your membership plans? How does that work?
Yeah, good question. So our website is colorsofyogaraleigh.com, and it has information for our virtual classes. And right now it's pay what you can. We understand people are losing their jobs and money is just tight. Like it's just different. So we are taking pay what you can. You can pay whatever you can afford. The best deal is our new student special. It's $49 for 1 month of unlimited classes. So you can take as many classes as you want from your home for $49 for new students. And our drop-in rate usually is $18. Like I said, right now it's pay what you can. And we really just believe in helping to heal and hopefully helping to avoid some of the situations like y'all were talking about before happening with our people. So.
Well, Patrice, thank you so much. You are awesome. I'm so proud of you, from one Black woman to another, because I know it's hard. So congratulations. We wish you nothing but, more success. We definitely want you guys to support. Follow them, Colors of Yoga Raleigh. Go to their website and drop in on a class. Look, like she said, if you ain't got it right now, money looking a little funny, like, ma'am, all I can give you is $10. Pay that $10 and think of it as not only helping yourself, but your mental as well. So, Patrice, thank you, girl.
Thank you. Thank y'all for having us. Thank you for having this show. I appreciate it. It's so good to see you.
Let me stop playing like my nails ain't busted. It's like, girl, put that hand down. But thank you so much, girl. I'm gonna come to your class. I'm gonna come to your class. Be easy on me.
Okay. I won't.
All right, precious girl. How you feeling, honey?
Feel good. I feel like I need one of those classes.
Yeah. Girl, we going?
Look, we could host a class. Diva's yoga. Diva trap yoga.
We gonna have to talk to Precious before that. But I mean, not Precious, Patrice before we. We're gonna have to talk to Patrice about that, but that would be dope.
Yeah.
Diva's night. Okay. Mm-hmm. Girl, we can't be giving our ideas live. We got to talk about that.
Yeah, that's right. This ain't behind the scenes. This on. Hey y'all. Welcome.
But thank you guys for tuning in on another episode of In the Divas Den. You guys are so awesome. We appreciate you. Make sure you follow us. Make sure you subscribe to us, and make sure you start a watch party and share. It costs nothing to share.
Right.
Nothing.
Yes.
Goodness. And we
want fun coming from us too.
As
I said, look forward to more fun coming from us. New things popping off in the Divas Den.
There I go with that now. Put that down. Okay. All right, y'all. Bye.